Hi guys, welcome. I am a little bit windswept. I was rained on the way back from the gym and had a really awesome workout. I'm back into routine after sadly experiencing a loss and now feel much more back to myself again. Swelling from crying and puffiness has gone and I can be truly thankful for the wonderful memories in life, the blessings that we have. And today I would just love that to be a reminder to you to live whilst you're alive, to do the things that you love, to spend time with people who bring you joy and make the most of every moment, even on the cold, rainy days. Have fun, chase your dreams, be with your loved ones and make every moment count. Pascal says, bonjour, welcome Pascal, thank you for joining. I don't know how you're always the first one online. How do you do it? Please share your secret. But congratulations, you are always my first viewer. It is almost 2 p.m. in the UK and I've just got back from a really sweaty workout, had a great time. I will share some pictures across the afternoon from my workout and would love to hear your thoughts on how you are feeling today. I hope you are well and looking forward to the end of the week and what you have planned for the weekend. Craig says, good afternoon, beautiful. Good afternoon. I hope you're all well. Maybe you want to join me for a coffee. That's a good coffee. Ben says, hi Tracy. Hi Ben, how are you? How is your drawing coming along? Have you drawn any lovely things recently? Somebody had said, nice afternoon. I can't read your name, but I'm guessing it's Greek. Is that correct? Thank you all for being here. I wanted to look at some reflections on life. So maybe you can answer a question with me. I love my coffee when it's hot. Does anybody else drink like literally boiling hot drinks? It just tastes so much nicer. As soon as it goes like room temperature, kills the flavour. And I can't drink cold coffee. I can never have iced lattes or are they called frappuccinos? Like the cold. Not for me. It has to be scorching hot. Raja says, love you. Thank you. Sending love and light to you all. And Ben says, good afternoon, Tracy. I'd like to achieve my dreams someday. Yes, and working towards them. The journey is the beautiful part. And I think that's really important. The steps that we take along the way are just as beautiful and wonderful as the destination themselves. Marcus says, good morning. Good morning, Marcus, or afternoon from England. And Luke says, hi, Trace, are you okay? Much better. Thank you, Luke. As I say, I had a very close loss recently at the weekend, and it was something that totally shattered my daily life. Being neurodivergent, I have autism and ADHD, so big life changes feel monumental to me, as I'm sure anyone who loses a loved one would feel so shook by it, but it kind of consumes every aspect of me and kind of snatches away my sleep and leaves me feeling very emotional. I feel very deeply. Everything that I feel becomes like 300%. So if I love with all my heart, like unconditionally, absolute devotion. And if I hurt so bad. And when you lose someone you love who has passed away, it's this ultimate, like your whole body is just in shock. And yeah, I don't want to be someone who is upset or brings people down, because I love life. I'm always laughing and smiling, and I don't like to dwell on negativity. But equally, I think it's important to go through grieving and mourning and face difficult times and be able to still see the positives in that. And for me, losing somebody very, very dear to me in such a shocking way as heart failure, it gave me that kind of appreciation that I feel on a daily basis anyway, but astronomically enhanced. So yes, I am back after a couple of days of kind of letting out the tears, letting out the sadness and the loss, and just reassessing and feeling more thankful and more filled with love and light than ever. And I think ultimately the people we meet in our lives, the people who we are so blessed to share time with and spend our lives with and have friendships and relationships with, is so important that we have those interactions, that we don't deny ourselves the chance to be close to people And I always say it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And even if something hurts you to lose it, a person or a thing or an experience, coming through that experience, having known someone, having lived through something, ultimately makes you more of a rounded person on the other side of it. So I'm very thankful. And the kind of pain and loss that I felt has now just kind of flourished into such gratitude. And I'm so, so thankful for that. So yes, how are you all? And I will bring you closer to read your comments because I'm squinting at you like this, but let me just sip my coffee. And I'll have to reach out and drag you closer so I can read because everything's a bit blurry from this distance. Thank you all for joining. Yes. Coffee is done, and I think I've eaten part of my French. Right, let's bring you over without knocking everything over. There we go. Okay, scrolling your comments before we read a question card. Bashir says, hi there. Garcia says, God bless. Thank you, and to you. Deepak says, I like. And Ben says, I've been recovering from a cold. I think a lot of people have been sick recently, especially at the end of last year. People were saying they were sick for like 2 or 3 weeks. I think like a super flu going around, kind of as is the time of year for it when it's very cold and wet and windy. I say that, and my brother, who I don't really talk much about, he spends the winter in t-shirts, cold plunges, cold showers. He does not feel cold, or he does, but he deals with it and he's really good at it. He never gets sick either. So I guess we can't put everything down to the weather because he would get ill if that was the case of being in a t-shirt outside. Whereas I tell my children who are 18 and coming up for 14, put your coat on, don't get wet and cold. And there's my brother like ice bathing, wet and cold. So yes, I think the immune system is really important. Sleep, vitamin C, vitamin D at this time of year. So Ben, if you don't take a multivitamin, I definitely recommend it. Look at nutrition, keep your body healthy and strong, and avoid being sick by just bolstering that immune system. And where I was crying for the past few days over the sudden loss, I had like swollen eyes and like a runny nose, and I was like, I'm gonna get sick if I continue to cry. But also you kind of need to go through that healing when you have heartbreak through the loss of a loved one, to let those tears out, to not bottle it up and keep it all hidden below. Part of the process is letting it out. And I know that when, you know, people have been crying, yes, it's normal to get puffy eyes and a kind of headache and sinus congestion where everything's just overwhelming. My eyes were so dry from crying. I literally was putting drops in constantly. And now I've like bounced back again. But fortunately, I didn't get sick. I was just kind of going through the motions. And I'm very thankful that throughout life, since my mid-20s, when I discovered health and nutrition, I've not really got sick, even going through surgeries and recoveries and things from surgery and healing and my immune system, and having chronic illness of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, chronic inflammation, and a physical disability of hypermobility. You know, I still keep my immune system strong, and I think that's really important that we do that. Johnny says, good morning, sending condolences to your family of your loss. Blessings for you always. Thank you, that's very kind of you. Ben says, happy Valentine's Day, Tracy. Oh, thank you, Ben, in advance. A few days away yet. I think we're a week or so away from Valentine's. What are you guys up to? And do you have any plans? Do you have a Valentine's? Mike says, good morning, coffee's ready. Oh, that would be lovely. Send one my way, please. Luke says, it's understandable. I do get you, and you're looking stunning as always. Oh, thank you, Luke. I've been really windswept and rained on. It's not quite short and t-shirt weather outside, but when I go to the gym, I just sweat so much. So I think a quick run from the car to the gym isn't the end of the world if you're in shorts and a t-shirt. But yes, it was a windy one today, and I'm a little bedraggled because of it. But I mean, isn't that the normal routine, actually? Luke says, fantastic to see you online. And Ben says, you look so beautiful today, Tracy. Oh, thank you guys. That's so very kind of you. I will scroll back to the start of the comments to catch up where I got to. I have no idea. Oh, wow, it's moved so fast. Elvis says, my heart goes out to you, Tracy. Oh, thank you. Carla is a spam profile, so she's getting banned, which is probably a man using women's pictures, banned from the page. There we go, guys. Every time I see a scammer or spammer, whilst I'm online, whilst I'm live streaming, I will do my best to ban them and to keep you all safe. But I hope that you can keep an eye out for those who message you from female accounts with very few followers, who are new accounts, who use pictures with weird names. Please always be vigilant. I would never want to see anybody taken advantage of. Ben says, any plans for the weekend, Tracy? So the weekend just gone, before everything happened, I had a lovely time with my parents. I took them hiking and they did so well. We just did 4 miles, so it was like a mini hike, because my dad has like breathing problems and things. So for him to be able to do inclines and be out in nature was really lovely. Took it slowly and he absolutely loved it. I know the weather's taken a turn. Fortunately, it was like blue skies and beautiful in just open countryside when we went. But depending on this weekend, I always try to get to see my parents every weekend, once per week. I'll see if they're up for the same, if not longer. It would be lovely to go on another hike. I'm going to put my teeth aligners back in because I've just realised I finished my coffee and don't want to leave them out. Sorry, these are clear trays that just pop back in. Ah, I have a hair trapped, my cat hair, lovely, tangled in my teeth aligners. So yeah, it'd be really nice if we went on another hike this weekend, but I'm not entirely sure if they're up for it and what the weather is saying. I think as they're beginners to hillside walking, they may be fair weather walkers only. I love being out in the rain, providing I have the right clothing for it, as opposed to just kind of, you know, being in gym wear. But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing if they want some more adventure or not. Bashir says, I really like you. Oh, thank you. Scrolling your comments. That's okay. I don't know if that's a fake profile or not, but if they comment weird stuff again, I will ban. Mark says, I'll give you vitamin D. Yes. Johnny says, healthy healing prayers to you. Thank you, Johnny. That's very kind. Bashir says, I like your time. Oh, thank you. Craig says, I'm all the way up here in Maine. It's very cold and snowy. Oh, wow. Is Maine in America, or have I got that completely wrong? My geography has never been my strong point, but yes, please be careful in the snow. Rakesh says, I like you, my love. Oh, thank you. And Mustafa says, I wish you a pleasant broadcast. Thank you. Michael says, good morning. Good morning, Michael. And Bashir says, today you look hot. Thank you. I have just got back from the gym, so I'm a little bit bedraggled. Scrolling down, guys. I hope I've caught up. Hi to Zuala. And David says, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, David. So going through these cards, Elvis says, yes, it's in the USA. Ha, I got it right. Scott says, hello from Scotland. Oh, that's so cool. You have a land named after you, Scott. Not too far from here. I think you're probably like 8 hours from me if you drive as the crow flies. I don't know, is that in traffic? People were telling me the other day that it's so quick and easy to fly to Scotland. So it is on my bucket list of things to do. It's obviously in the UK, but I've never been. I'm central England, in the outskirts of London. So I'm probably the furthest you could be, apart from on the coast, from Scotland. But I would definitely love to visit. I think it may be more of a summer thing because of the cold, but we shall see. Zuala is from Pakistan. Welcome. And Mohan says, happy Shama from India. Oh, amazing. Oh, welcome. How are you all today? Santos says, love you. Thank you. Sending love and light to you all. And Rana says, hi. Hi, Rana. Luke says, I've always liked you since you were on the TV Naked Attraction. Oh, thank you. That was a few years ago now. And at the time, I remember because I'd just had my son, like maybe he was a couple of years old at the time when I went on the TV show. And yeah, I didn't know what was acceptable for beauty and beauty standards. I didn't have like an ego or rate my appearance. Some people said, oh, what do you like or not like about yourself? I was like, oh, there's so many things that, you know, you could change or do bits with. And I'm quite an open and honest speaker. So when I was answering questions, they were like, oh, this is TV gold. Like, you're just really out there and you say what you mean and you don't mince your words. So yes, I have a few more tattoos since then, but I think they took it from Channel 4 in the UK to, it went like worldwide, crazy amount of times. And then I think it's recently played in America again, because every now and then I get like an influx of people saying, are you Tracy from NA, like Naked Attraction? I'm like, yeah, that's me. But yeah, as I say, that was my second child I'd had, and I have two children. They're 18 and coming up for 14 now. And I didn't really think my body was anything, you know, being a mum and kind of having that feeling of, I've never kind of been wined and dined and complimented or anything like that to understand how you go about like dating. I was raised Catholic in a kind of very closed off, sheltered way, bubble wrapped, and my experience of being engaged was not very nice. So when I then became a single parent, it was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to dress to look nice and things? And I remember like getting the dress to wear on the show, and I was like, is this too revealing, or what do I wear, and can I stand up in high heels for the day? Like, it was really crazy. I was just so young and inexperienced in life. And now I think, you know, I feel just as young. Our souls never get old. And yeah, it was a good experience. I really enjoyed it. And I'm pleased that I went through that, because I think like we never see what other people see us as. And it was a unique way to kind of understand what beauty is and how people respond and react to different appearances. I'm definitely still, and always have been, quite like a country bumpkin, sporty gym girl. That hasn't changed. I just have a bit more body art now. But yeah, I'm still basically exactly the same as I was 10 years ago, I think. Elvis says, I had 7 kids I brought up on my own. My goodness. How did you manage with 7 kids? That's huge, but what a blessing to be a parent to so many beautiful souls. I know my children, I would not change them for the world. I feel like I've won the lottery 1 billion times over to be their mum. And yeah, they keep me young. They keep me active. They keep me as a protector and provider. I am their mum and their dad at the same time. And it's a wonderful experience to have just unconditional love and happiness and laughter and all of those lovely things that I think if I hadn't had them, I never would have understood to the extent that I understand today. Scrolling your comments. Miss Stark says, looking gorgeous. Thank you. Mohan is from India. Welcome. Miss Stark is from Bangladesh. Welcome. Remran says, how are you? I want to meet you. Oh, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Joni is from Indonesia. Welcome, Joni. And Deseng says, salute you, mother. You're very beautiful. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Luke says, definitely I get you. It's still going again. Is Naked Attraction still recording? I had no idea. I remember in lockdown, they wanted to do like an update with me. And I did like a video call because it was all in isolation and everything. And they were like, where are you now? Are you married or anything? And I was like, no, I never want to get married. It's just not for me. It's something that I tried when I was very young and hated it. It was so not pleasant. So I'm happy to respectfully be in a relationship. If I'm in a relationship, I don't share my relationship status online anymore. Learned the hard way about that. All ends up in the press. But yeah, I'm happy to be dedicated, loving and respectful, faithful in a relationship. I don't need an open relationship or, you know, labels and things, but it's the kind of respect that you are there because you choose to be, not because you have to be, because you're in a legally binding contract with some person who couldn't care less about you. So yeah, the way I view things is very different to what I thought and how I was raised. as a Catholic in my young teens and early 20s. I would never go through that again. Ridiculous. But each to their own. What works for one person is the worst nightmare of another. And I think it's definitely just about seeing where you belong in life, where you feel the most happy, content, and also understood. And to me, marriage is not a kind of achievement. It's not something that is a measure of success or happiness. And yeah, I just think it's not something on my radar. I really don't want it, just as I don't want a really high pair of shoes that can hurt my feet, or a really tight dress that's going to stop me from breathing. I'd rather be comfortable and happy and feel at ease than kind of trapped and stuck and stagnant in life with somebody who doesn't align. And yeah, I think life should be a flexible, fluid thing, that as we age and we mature and we progress, people around us, like tectonic plates, everything will shift and adjust. And what fits really well now, in 10 years, may be like the worst fit for you ever. So you need to have the ability, I think, to grow as an individual as well as a couple, to be both a team and also teammates, you know, your own separate people who have your own skill sets and dreams and desires, that you can make compromises and adjustments for each other in life, but you're not stunting someone's future and growth and desires and personality. How many people do you know that when they date, whoever they are dating, they kind of become what that person wants them to be? They lose their identity, or they start saying different words or doing different things. You think, where has my friend gone? This isn't how I've always known them to be. And I think a lot of people kind of become this kind of chameleon in life, where they want to be the dream person of the person they're dating, and they lose themselves. How can you live a life as somebody that you're not, just to please others? Whereas I believe in kind of warts and all, be yourself, and if people accept you for who you are, awesome, pull up a chair at the table. And if they don't, hold the door open. Never say, you know, I own you now, so you have to stay forever and be miserable if you don't like it. I definitely think you need that respect and that love to say, if it's not right, then you can still be friends, or you can still have kindness towards each other and good intentions. It doesn't have to be do or die, marriage or enemies. You know, there can be a more softer and more gentle approach to that doesn't affect your mental health in such a way. Fran Jean says, Tracy Queen, I'm a fan from Mexico, so perfect woman. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Edward says, absolutely stunning. Oh, thank you. Sayula says, hello. And Mary is from Nigeria. Oh, amazing. Welcome. Moran says, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? And Rana says, hello. Christina says, good afternoon from Farringdon in Oxford, not far from here. Welcome. I hope you're all having a wonderful afternoon. I am scrolling back down. I don't know how far I got to. Luke says, it's a shame your relationship ended. Horrible. You deserve happiness. Oh yeah, I was just so young when I was engaged. You know, kind of grandparents tell you, marry your boyfriend, have children, do all of this. But I mean, what's the chance that the first person that comes along is your soulmate? They don't just live down the road from you 5 minutes away and it's convenient, you know. And I'm so thankful that I realized that, because as I say, I'd never been treated in a romantic way. I wasn't wined and dined. I wasn't celebrated. I wasn't ever complimented. So it never gave me that ego. I never felt like a princess or someone that was amazing. So when I went on the show, I was like, hi. And people were like, oh, you're nice. And I'm like, am I? Because if you are never treated that way, it's not a reality for you, is it? And likewise, like now, I am really bad at taking compliments. I'll be like, oh, I don't know what to say. And it feels kind of unnatural to me for somebody to be like, oh my God, you're amazing. And I'm like, I'm just me and you're you. Can't we just be chill about it? You know, like that's how I have always felt. I've never seen myself as something above and beyond. We are all just normal people living normal lives. And yeah, happiness is really important. And I realize people who are very negative, controlling, insulting, are the least happy people ever. But they are the ones that will put all the pictures out, bragging about, oh, look at this, look at that, you know, to kind of counteract that void that they feel where there's not authenticity, there's not that genuine love. So it's kind of like the term of polishing a turd. The more rotten it is, the harder you've got to shine it to make it look normal. Whereas you could just be a happy, healthy person in a respectful relationship and you wouldn't have to polish so hard. Andy says, hello there, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Harden says, hi. And Johnny says, I like how you show yourself. It's pure beauty and very good soul. Oh, thank you very much, Johnny. We should all be ourselves, shouldn't we? We should all be free to talk, speak our mind, share our true thoughts and feelings and beliefs without fear of judgment, and show up not looking our very best. Why do you have to look your very best? Why can't we just look our everyday? And then sometimes when we're like, oh, I've had my hair done, or I've had a trim, or I got a suntan because it's been a nice day, you can like be like, oh, I feel really, really nice and extra done today, or polished or pristine. But the everyday is also totally wonderful. It's magical. It's who you are. And as you wake up as yourself and you look in the mirror, to just be accepting and kind towards what you see, not to say, I need to change that. That's not good enough. People can't see me like this. Make peace with yourself, because we all just get old and the wrinkles stack up and things shrivel up and drop off. We might as well love them and appreciate them whilst we got them, because we're all ending up the same way. Rowan says, hello, I'm watching from Cambodia. Welcome. Somebody has said something really creepy. So Ban Rosemary, who is a female profile, but is blatantly a man scammer. Banned. Moran says, beautiful lady. Thank you. Luke says, what happened to the guy that you picked on Naked Attraction? So Mark, he became Mr. UK. We dated for about a year, but he lived in Middlesbrough and I live on the outskirts of London, so miles away. So yeah, it was just a long distance thing. He wanted to get married and have children. There was an age gap. He was younger than me and I never dated younger. But on the show, they don't tell you people's ages. They don't say anything, or you have no information. It's just based on looks. So I thought, oh, he does look young. But because he was so groomed, I was like, are you young looking because you've put so much effort into it? Or are you just young? I didn't know. And again, like I was in my 20s. He was like early 20s and I was late 20s. Like I was like 27, 28 at the time, because my son was about 2 and he was born in 2012. I was 25 when I had him. So yeah, maybe I was like 27, 28. And Mark was like 21, 22. But he was very tall and had a beard. So you can't really tell, like it becomes that kind of mush of an age between like 18 to 30 where you're like, are you a young 30 or are you an old 18? Like you have no idea. So yes, and I just thought with what I went through whilst being engaged previously, I was like, no, you're not ready for marriage. You don't want to have a wife and children. You need to live your life, live until you're 30 and then circle back around. And also long distance. How are you going to date someone that lives like 8 hours away? Just wasn't going to work. And we got on really well. There wasn't like a breakup where you're like heartbroken and it's like, oh, it's ending or anything. It was just a thing of like, yeah, you live really far away. Just date people in your area. And yeah, and then he met someone who had a child. I think they were like on and off for a few years. I think maybe they got engaged or something. I'm not 100% sure. I was respectfully just backed away to not make anyone feel awkward, because I understand if you met someone on a dating show and there's loads of stuff about you online, you're always going to have like one eye open on the ex, aren't you? Like, oh, who are you talking to? So I never wanted to be that person. I was like, no. Like I want you to have a happy life with someone who lives near you and is at that same point in life. I was definitely avoiding marriage, and I thought I don't want to be on my own with another baby to raise because somebody thinks they like me, but actually the reality of raising a family and getting married is so different to this kind of fairy tale that people think of. So it was self-preservation for me more so, to just say, I've got 2 children on my own. I don't need 3, and I don't want to ring on my finger, but we can have fun. And if you ever move down this way, give me a call. And yeah, he lived with his family up north and I lived down south. It was just polar opposites. But yeah, we got on amazing. We had some wonderful memories and spent about a year together. But as I say, there was no breakup. There was no hard feelings or anything. It was just more, you know, long term, this isn't a thing. And go and live life before you settle down. And I think he last time he sent me a message on Insta. He said he was single and looking for a place on his own after breaking up with his partner. So I'm not sure where he's at now, but I think he's still northern based. Joni says, I'm waiting for Tracy to go live in Bali, Indonesia. Oh, thank you for joining and welcome from paradise. Sounds amazing. Upali is from Sri Lanka. Welcome. And Luke says, respect goes a long way. And be happy. Absolutely, I totally agree. It does not have to be in the form of ownership of another individual or anything. Material possessions do not bring you happiness, and forcing somebody to stay with you does not bring you happiness. It should be just this beautiful energy and peace and love and respect, where sharing time together is wonderful and being by yourself is also wonderful. You're not lonely or you're not insecure. You're not feeling like you need another person to fill in the gaps. You are just content, and everybody else is on that level and they meet you with that level of respect and love. Fernando says, I love you, beautiful. Thank you. Joni says, I want to chat on WhatsApp. I do not personal or direct message, I'm afraid, but you can chat to me here on live and I'll read out as many comments as I can. Johnny says, you are a queen to me. I agree with you on relationships. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Luke says, I know what you mean. True colours come out in the end. Oh, definitely do. Time is such a teller. And I think it's nice to get to a point where you look back at your life a decade previously. You know, I'm now in my 30s and looking back at my 20s, and to say what I saw then has risen to the surface now. And yeah, like people can deceive people. People can portray a different lifestyle than what they truly have. They can pretend to be a nice person. But over a stretch of time, I think it's very obvious that they are not able to maintain that bravado, that kind of act or character that they are portraying. And it's refreshing that you don't have to do anything other than be yourself and just live your life with peace and love and respect. And the people who are not genuine, it will rise to the surface. As you say, true colours will show. And you don't have to then say, I told you so, or, you know, this was the truth all along. You can just allow people to let it happen. Karma is such a beautiful thing. It's something that will always bring justice, always bring honesty to the forefront. And yeah, liars, cheaters and scoundrels will always be revealed as that. But when it's later in life that people see that, you then have less choices for where to go from there. So I think if we all look inward, we can say to ourselves, am I deceiving people? Am I lying? Am I misrepresenting something? Am I making something appear different to what it is? Am I different to who people think I am? And if so, how can I correct that? Because the not correcting is actually what causes the suffering. And everybody inside feels that sense of, oh, maybe I should just put that straight. Maybe I should just clarify. And for me, like, justice is such a huge thing. And I think a lot of neurodivergent people see right from wrong as absolute black and white, yes or no. And I just cannot stand people who mislead or lie or use. It's such a huge hard no for me. And I just can't do it. If anyone says anything to me, I'm like, let me just clarify. This is what I mean, and this is what this is. And if you're not okay with that, please just tell me. You know, like, I can't allow wiggle room for confusion. I like everything to be very, very clear cut. And I think that is just from love and respect, that I would never want anybody to feel like it's the opposite of what it is, you know, of anything in life. Jerry says, good evening. Good evening. Ragesh says, hi, beautiful. Hi there. Borsik says, beauty. And Ferrando says, have a perfect and nice day. Oh, thank you. And you too. Scrolling your comments. Scrolling. Luke says, I totally understand you and you need to be treated like a princess. Brought flowers and took out a lot. That's the thing, right? So like, I can laugh about it now. I can laugh about it in the most ridiculous way. But so I was cheated on in a long-term relationship in younger years, and like girls would come up to me and be like, oh, your boyfriend's done this and done that, and here's the proof. And I would say to him, because I was very naive, autistic, I just believed people were as honest as I am. Like if you don't tell lies, you think nobody tells lies, but then you realise people are really good at telling lies, and they can look you in the eye, they can cry, they can like make it so believable that you think, no way are they lying, because I wouldn't lie about something like that, so why would they? And my ex would say to me, oh, this girl's crazy. She's just trying to break us up because she's jealous, or she's made fake text messages to do that. That's not a screenshot of a real message. Like she's written that herself and made it look like I've sent that to her. And she's got someone else's phone and put my name as their number. So it looks like my profile picture and name texting her, but it's all fake and constructed. So I'd be like, wow, why would girls go to such a crazy level to do such a thing, to make up lies and like say that you've cheated when you haven't? Oh God, what a donut. So after that ex, in a long time ago, did all of that, he never bought me flowers, only when he felt really guilty. And I would always say like, oh, it's a shame when you buy flowers because they're so beautiful, and I love wildflowers. My buttocks are covered in wildflowers, and I would say they're so beautiful, like they grow and they bloom and they're just full of sunshine and lovely. And as soon as you cut them, they wither and die, like within a few days, maybe a week at the most. That beauty is lost. It just dissolves in front of you. And it's sad to almost destroy something so beautiful. So I would say like, I like pot plants, or something I can put in the garden and grow, and it comes back and gets stronger and lives. So he would like buy me flowers once a year, twice a year. Like if he'd done something horrible, then he would kind of buy flowers as a way to kind of make himself feel better, rather than like a kind gift that he was like, oh, you deserve this and I'm happy to see you and I care about you. It was more so a kind of offsetting of guilt, knowing that he was an asshole. And then I remember going into a relationship probably 6 months after we broke up and saying, like, he bought me flowers, the person I dated. And I was like, oh my God, flowers make me so nervous, because when my ex would cheat, he would give me flowers, but thank goodness you're not like that. And he brought me flowers because he cheated. So it was the same thing of like, every time I got flowers, the PTSD associated with that was like, what have you done now? Why have you brought me flowers? Oh my gosh. And I remember laughing, saying like, thank goodness you're not like him and you've just bought them to be nice. Whereas all along he must have sat there thinking, oh, I'm doing what the other guy did, you know. And at that time, I didn't realise until the girl slid into my DMs again. Oh, the guy you're dating, his car's on my driveway. He's coming back tomorrow. He stayed last night. And I'm like, oh, how can they be so good at lying? That's what I really could not grasp. So yes, every time I've had flowers, it's always been from an arsehole. So honestly, I don't want them. I don't need to be a princess. I've lived on my own for like 16 years now. I am a happy, independent, well-balanced, peaceful person who does not need somebody to do everything for me. I don't need a protector and provider. I'm very independent, very stable and secure in my own life. I have a happy, healthy balance, and there's not anything I'm lacking. So I think, yeah, being a princess would be my worst nightmare, and receiving flowers would just trigger that kind of twitchy eye where you're like, oh, they're at it again. Yeah, so you live and learn. It comes with time and age. But my 20s was a really interesting time for learning the hard way. Bob says, I love you, Tracy. Oh, thank you. Abdul says, hearts and kisses, like little lips and flowers. Thank you. Luke says, They're the jealous ones. Who are the jealous ones? Sorry, I think I'm a few minutes behind in talking. Scrolling your comments, trying to catch up. Scrolling. Joni says, I'm waiting for your answer to love. Sorry, I think I missed the question. What was the question there? Luke, I can't answer that, but we did do an after show. An after show interview where they gave us alcohol straight after filming for Naked Attraction. The cast and crew, they saw more than they wanted to. Fun times. Johnny says positive vibes always. And also to you. And Samahi says hello. Hi and welcome. Christian says you are a huge inspiration. Thank you. And I hope you have positive influence in your life. I hope you have friends that you can be around, spend time with, feel uplifted by, and just share in the magic of life. Laugh, smile, have fun, and appreciate every moment as the blessing that it is. It's what you make it in life. So just have lovely moments and beautiful memories that you can pass down to your grandchildren one day. Say, when I was your age, the things I experienced and things I did, and look back at it with fond memories. Even if it was really, really bad experiences, you can definitely live and learn from it. So yes, I will pop out a card. I think I've done most of these over the time. There's me shuffling to kind of get to a new one, but maybe I'll just kind of flick through. Oh, here we go. I'll flick through some cards and just pull one out. I think I have done most of these over the random shuffles that we've had. So this is about appreciating you. So the question here is, what's it like when you're at your best? When I'm at my best, which is most days to be fair, unless I'm going through something dramatic or catastrophic, which seems to be more and more recent over the most several months that have passed. Had quite a few really large life events happen that have been quite distressing. But when I'm at my best, what's it like? I'm just a cheerful ray of sunshine, laughing and smiling, and I love eating healthy. I love being active. I love drinking herbal teas. I love listening to a whole spectrum of music. I love being around my children, my pets, my family. I love singing to the radio really badly. I love watching really cheesy rom-com movies from Christmas, even in the middle of summer. I think is really nice. Kind of having that feeling that you don't have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And even when I do go through horrible times, I can still kind of keep sight of the light at the end of the tunnel. I think at my best, I'm just at peace. Most of my life I'm peaceful. So yeah, I don't feel that kind of panic or fear or anxiety that I used to feel in my 20s. I'm very much a kind of what will be mindset at the moment in my life. Being Buddhist, I think really helps with that, to kind of have the spirituality to say what is meant for me will find its way. And even if it's really, really distressing, difficult, painful times, that is what life had intended for me. I can't change it. I can only be responsible for my mindset to approach that. And yeah, I think when you're at your best, you are just you. And I am me. I've found me. It's taken a long time to kind of chip away at, I guess, like the wall that people put onto us, the expectations and the judgments and criticism, that we kind of build up this defense barrier and we keep everybody out, and you kind of self-preservation. But also I would listen to the way people treated me, the way people spoke to me, and things they would say and do to me. And I've been through some pretty horrible abuse in life. And I would take that personally. I would think I deserved that they were defining me as an individual. Whereas I realised these people don't know me at all. Like, they have no clue. Everything that makes me me, they're trying to change. So why don't they just look for someone else? Why don't they, instead of telling me everything that's wrong with me, go and find someone that makes them happy and let me just be me? Because if you think of every puzzle piece, I mean, like, how can I make that with my hands? Maybe to show you the box of this, that obviously goes like that, that fits. But how that fits so perfectly, if you were to do it the other way around, that doesn't fit at all. So if somebody's cruel to you and they're insulting you, or they don't like you, they're not attracted to you, or you grind on them, you don't get on, don't be with them. Instead, someone different, the opposite, works perfectly with you, and you fit and everything's easy, and you laugh in each other's company, and you feel at ease in their presence. There's no stress or anxiety. Life moves freely. It's comfortable. It's calm. It's wonderful. Go for that, not that. So what's it like when you're at your best? When I'm just myself and the people around me see me as myself. When I'm around fake people, I cannot stand it. I've moved away from so many superficial people in life. In the past year, I've literally just culled so many people in my life, from relatives to work colleagues to friends. You can kind of feel that sense of, you only get to know what that sensation feels like when you first see the beauty of just being yourself and at ease with people. Maybe not a lot of people have that 100% authenticity in their lives. So the kind of half friendships, the kind of hangers-on and people with ulterior motives, the users, the abusers, you kind of think that's normal until you understand better. And I think when you meet people as yourself, not trying to be something you're not trying to impress anyone, not censoring yourself, just being yourself, just letting that breath out and saying, this is who I am, take it or leave it. That's when you realise the majority of people in life will not be the right fit for you. They will just be banging horns with you, head against a brick wall kind of vibes. You can't get through to them. It doesn't ever, no matter how hard you force it, doesn't feel natural. Switch it around, be yourself. Life aligns. It's wonderful. And that is definitely my advice. So on that note, after we put the world to rights, I'd just like to say thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for your kind words through what has been a rather sad week in life after the loss of a loved one. And I'm just so thankful for the love that I have experienced in life, the memories that I've made, and everything I've ever gone through that has made me who I am today. I hope that in sharing my thoughts with you, my ramblings and musings, that you can be freely and openly and wholeheartedly yourself behind closed doors, in public and on social media, because the world needs you. We have to all be individuals. We have to all be ourselves, show up as ourselves, be on our own team, be your own hype person, you know, be kind to yourself in the mirror. Even if you're having a soft day or a bad hair day or things aren't going your way, give yourself that little hug and say, I'm here for you, you've got this. That beautiful inner child that we all keep within. Look back at your baby photos and little chubby toddler, and you've got those weird haircuts as a kid. That person, that soul is still inside of you. You are everything all at once. And what you see today in the mirror is what has been entirely before. So just be kind, be patient, be considerate to yourself, and let that love and light flow through everything that you do. So thank you all for being a part of my life. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing in this moment, on this day of life, in the wonderful universe that we happen to live in the miracle of creation. And if you do anything today, be kind and thankful that you are blessed to be here. I hope you will have a lovely day wherever you are.